Yo, it's good everyone. This is AEO Boxing with Madiba, and we're here to talk about why Shakur Stevenson needs a knockout this Saturday. So Shakur Stevenson is fighting Artem Harutyunyan this Saturday, and in my opinion, it should be a good fight. The whole card is good, with Shakur Foster versus Robin Conceição as the co-main, and Keyshawn Davis right underneath it, along with Abdullah Mason. I would have gone to this fight, but instead I'll be going to the Jaron Ennis fight next week, but that's besides the point. The majority of fans are overlooking Artem because he's relatively unknown and lost to Frank Martin in his last fight, so many people think that Shakur should win easily and see this as a cherry pick. But I have to disagree, because Artem is a good fighter. He's an Olympic bronze medalist, which indicates that he has skills and experience, and he gave Frank Martin a close and competitive fight. So I fully expect to see some resistance and for this fight to be competitive to a certain degree. However, most fans don't see it this way. Shakur is getting a lot of hate, criticism, and dismissal from the fans. They're calling him boring, saying he's fighting a cherry pick, fans saying that they're not going to watch the fight, and etc. And all of these comments are providing a lot of engagement on social media, which can translate to attention. Despite the negative attention from most fans, I guarantee you that most of them will still watch this fight. But the problem is that these comments have created a strong narrative that will be hard for Shakur to break out of. This is why Shakur needs to put on a spectacular, exciting performance and knock out Artem. Shakur's last fight against Edwin De Los Santos is the reason why he's getting so much negativity. Shakur has always been labeled as boring, but he was changing that narrative in the last 2 years with wins over Herring, Valdez, Conceição, and Yoshino. So going into the De Los Santos fight, most fans expected a good fight from Shakur, especially since he did a lot of talking before the fight, mainly on Twitter. However, this performance was extremely disappointing and boring, and Shakur's stock dropped immensely. The boring narrative is stronger than ever. It doesn't matter how talented you are or your achievements. If the fans think you're boring, the promoters are less likely to sign you or put you in big fights. Furthermore, it makes it easier for fighters to duck and avoid you. This was seen with Eddie Hearn stating that he won't pay Shakur the money that Top Rank was paying him, Tank Davis saying that Shakur would run for the entire fight if they fought, and Lomachenko opting to unify with Tank rather than Shakur. As it stands, Shakur has limited opportunities, and there's a strong possibility that he gets blackballed. So this fight with Artem is crucial for Shakur's career and brand, especially since he'll be a free agent after this fight. Artem is his last fight on his Top Rank contract, and Shakur has stated that he's no longer interested in long-term contracts, implying that he'll only do short-term deals, and in theory, this is a smart move for Shakur. Short-term deals allow for flexibility, which is important in the current landscape at lightweight and at 140. Rather than staying with one promoter and limiting your potential opponents, being a free agent increases your opportunities to fight more people in a shorter time frame. Shakur could get a deal with the PBC and unify with Tank, and if he wins, he could sign with another promotion next year. This strategy would eliminate promoter politics and barriers, which negatively have impacted Shakur's career thus far. However, this is not beneficial from Top Rank's perspective. Promoters want to keep the belts in-house at all costs. At the current moment, Top Rank has 3 of the 4 belts at lightweight, but they will lose one if Shakur becomes a free agent. Loma is fighting Tank next, which means Top Rank is at risk of losing a belt. But the money outweighs the risk, so they're okay with that. But it's different if Shakur were to unify with Dennis Baranchyk, since Shakur doesn't bring a lot of money to the table, and Top Rank could just have one of their contenders fight Dennis instead. From a business perspective, it makes more sense for 2 in-house boxers to fight each other because no matter who wins or loses, the promotion will still have the belt. This puts Shakur in a tough position. If he resigns with Top Rank, then he will have less freedom and flexibility. And based on Top Rank's current roster at lightweight, there's no big fights for Shakur. It's obvious that Shakur wants the big fights and free agency may be the best route to get them, but that's not guaranteed. Even if Shakur signs a short-term deal with the PBC, it's not guaranteed he'll get a Tank fight. The same can be said if he signs with Matchroom or Golden Boy. The only way Shakur can gain leverage as a free agent if he puts on a spectacular and entertaining performance against Artem. If he can show the boxing world that he's not boring and that his last fight was a fluke, then he could possibly entice Top Rank or the PBC for a favorable deal. With that being said, I think Shakur will dominate Artem and end up stopping him in the later rounds. If this does happen, Shakur will still get a lot of hate and negativity, but like what they always say, you're only good as your last fight. A good win will definitely create discourse and interest for a tank fight and keep Shakur's name in the boxing news cycle for a while. It would also bring out Shakur fans who have been in hiding these past couple of months. However, you shouldn't sleep on Artem. If he gives Shakur a hard and competitive fight, it will be devastating for his brand. But who knows, this is boxing, anything can happen. But thank you for tuning in with AEO Boxing from Mediba. Hit like, subscribe, and more content's coming your way.